Ever spent like an hour trying to figure something out online, and then finally you find it? Somebody else already had the same question as you.
And they figured out the answer.
Yeah, and they figured it out and like wrote up this whole beautiful explanation. Like, thank you, internet.
That's the magic of online communities, right?
Totally. But what if all that just like went away?
That's a thought-provoking question, especially now with,
Man,
AI.
yeah, and that's actually what we're going to be looking at today. So how AI is changing how we share knowledge online. We've got this new research paper from a National Academy of Sciences journal.
And get this, they zeroed in on computer programming.
Yeah, they looked at this website, Stack Overflow. It's like the go-to place for programmers to get help and share tips.
Think of it as this huge database of questions and answers, all about coding.
And the researchers, they really went deep.
Yeah.
I'm talking millions of posts on Stack Overflow going back to like 2008.
But they didn't stop there. They also looked at similar websites in other countries like Russia and China.
Places where it can be hard to actually get to ChatGPT.
Exactly. They even analyzed sites about advanced math, stuff that ChatGPT wasn't so great at back when they collected this data.
Smart, like setting up a control group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they can pinpoint exactly what ChatGPT is doing.
Exactly.
Okay, so what did they find?
Buckle up.
Okay.
In just 6 months after ChatGPT launched, activity on Stack Overflow, it nosedived.
Like, how much are we talking here?
25%.
Whoa, that's a lot.
That's huge. And they think that's just the beginning.
Yeah, so wait, let me just play devil's advocate for a second. Maybe people are just like using ChatGPT for the easy coding questions now, and they still got to Stack Overflow for the really hard stuff.
They thought about that too, actually. But there's no evidence that the type of questions on Stack Overflow actually changed after ChatGPT.
Huh.
Yeah, even the experts were posting less.
Interesting. So it's like ChatGPT became the go-to expert for everyone.
That's what it looks like. And when they looked closer at the programming languages that were impacted most, there were some clear patterns.
Okay, like what?
So the languages that took the biggest hit, those were the popular ones like Python, JavaScript.
Ones everyone's using, so.
Exactly. The ones ChatGPT has probably been trained on the most. But, get this, activity related to a language called CUDA actually went up after ChatGPT.
Really? Why is that?
You're going to love this. CUDA is mainly used for AI and machine learning.
So ChatGPT is like killing off some parts of programming, but also creating a buzz for the stuff that makes AI work.
It's this weird feedback loop. AI is actually shaping what humans are interested in.
Wild. So we've got AI potentially like taking over some of what programmers do, but then also sparking all this new interest. My brain hurts. So why should we even care if programmers are going to ChatGPT instead of each other? I mean, if it's working, right?
Well, think about it this way. Everything we can do online, it exists because of how much information is out there available to everyone. What if that dries up?
That's what this substitution effect could lead to.
Exactly. It's not just code, though, right? Think about musicians like sharing tips online, or artists showing each other techniques.
Writers.
Yeah, writers, too.
Workshopping.
Exactly. What if all those communities just kind of fade away? Because everybody's asking AI for help instead.
Like for anything.
Yeah.
From asking about weird medical symptoms to...
anything. Imagine you're trying to fix your sink, right? And instead of finding that perfect forum post with pictures and everything...
right, from a real plumber?
Yeah, you're stuck with some AI chatbot that's like, have you tried turning it off and on again?
Okay, I see what you mean. But what about the quality of the information? Is ChatGPT actually giving advice that's as good as what you'd find on a site like Stack Overflow?
That's the big question, right? The researchers wanted to know that too. So they looked at how Stack Overflow users were rating the posts before and after ChatGPT.
So was everybody suddenly giving 5 stars to AI-generated gibberish?
Nope, actually. The quality of the posts, or at least how other users rated them, it basically stayed the same. So it's not like ChatGPT just vacuumed up all the good information and left only the junk behind.
Right, but maybe ChatGPT is just really good at faking it. Like it tricks people into thinking it's smarter than it actually is.
It's possible. I mean, we're still figuring out how clever these AIs can be. But even if it's writing really convincing answers, there's a bigger problem. Remember how we were talking about AI needing data to learn?
Yeah.
What happens if AI starts replacing humans in these online spaces?
It's like biting the hand that feeds it.
Kind of. It's cutting itself off from the information it needs to get better. We could end up in a situation where AI is just learning from other AI.
And what happens to us?
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
We need to be careful about becoming too reliant on AI. This research is a warning sign.
So it's not about AI being bad.
No, It's about finding the right balance. We can use these tools without accidentally destroying the things that make them useful in the first place.
So how do we do that?
Well, for one thing, we need to keep encouraging people to share their knowledge, even if AI seems like the easy option.
But how do we do that?
Well, we might need to rethink how we value those contributions. Like, could there be new funding models for open source projects?
So people actually get rewarded for sharing their expertise.
Exactly. It's about making knowledge sharing just as appealing or even more appealing than relying on AI. And it's not just about money, it's about building a culture that celebrates human connection and collaboration.
Because as cool as AI is, there's something special about connecting with another person who gets it.
Yeah.
You know, like who shares your passion for, I don't know, vintage synthesizers or whatever.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that human element. The future isn't about humans versus AI. It's about finding ways to make them work together.
To complement each other.
Exactly. And maybe even to push each other to be better.
So where does that leave us? We've got this potential AI takeover, big tech getting even bigger. It's kind of overwhelming.
I get it. It's a lot to take in. But remember, AI is a tool, like any tool. It can be used for good or for bad.
So it's not all doom and gloom.
Not at all. AI has so much potential, right? Like, it could help us solve really tough problems, make learning easier.
Okay, so how do we make sure that happens? How do we, like, use AI for good without accidentally creating this future where nobody shares information anymore?
That's the question, isn't it? This research, it gives us a few hints, I think. We need to make it rewarding for people to keep sharing their knowledge, even with AI around.
So we got to make it, like, worth their while, even if it's easier to just ask an AI.
It might mean changing how we think about open source projects, how we fund them, recognizing the people who contribute their time, their expertise.
Like, almost like we have to make sharing knowledge cooler than relying on AI.
Exactly. And it's bigger than just like money, you know? It's about creating a culture where we celebrate that human connection, that back and forth.
Because it is cool when you find someone who's, like, as obsessed with something as you are.
It is. And that's something AI can't replace.
So what's the, like, the main thing you want people to take away from all of this?
Don't be afraid of AI. Try it out, see how it can help you learn and be creative, but also pay attention to where you're getting your information from. And never forget how important it is to connect with other humans.
I like it. Don't just be a brain in a jar talking to an AI.
Exactly.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive, but keep thinking about this, everyone. As AI keeps changing, the biggest question isn't what can it do, it's what do we want to do with it?
What kind of future are we building with it?
Exactly. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.